The air hung heavy, thick with the stench of hypocrisy. Laughter, loud and boisterous, echoed from a gilded pavilion. Music, decadent and oblivious, pulsed like a heartless heartbeat. And then, the sky spoke. "Justice!" the voice boomed, deep and resonant, shaking the very foundations of the earth. Justice will not be denied. The voice, ancient and powerful, seemed to seep into the marrow, pronouncements echoing like thunder in every heart. A hush fell over the pavilion, the revelry dying down like a choked flame. This was not the voice of forgiveness. This was the voice of judgment. The merrymakers exchanged uneasy glances. Their smiles, moments ago wide and carefree, now appeared strained, plastered on faces suddenly pale. The music stuttered, faltered, and finally died. Silence descended, heavy and expectant. In that silence, the voice spoke again. "Babylon," it intoned, each syllable a hammer blow. "Your time is at hand." The pavilion stood on a hill overlooking a sight of stark contrast. Below, nestled in the valley, lay a prison. Not just any prison. This one was a pit of despair, a charnel house where the living envied the dead. The wealthy dined on delicacies, their laughter echoing cruelly in the night. The prisoners starved, their ribs visible through skeletal frames. Inside the pavilion, jewel-encrusted goblets clinked against the backdrop of carefree laughter. Outside, the only sound was the mournful wail of despair. The stench of decay wafted up from the valley, a stark counterpoint to the cloying perfume that hung heavy in the air. Yet, the partygoers remained oblivious, lost in their world of self-indulgence. They were the self-proclaimed righteous, the keepers of morality. They feasted, justifying their excesses as blessings from a God they conveniently forgot to thank. Blind to the suffering below, they toasted their own piety, their hypocrisy as suffocating as the stench rising from the valley. They were deaf to the pleas, blind to the pain. They were Babylon. Outside the prison gates, loved ones huddled, their faces etched with a grief so profound it seemed to consume them from within. Mothers clutched meager possessions, the last remaining links to children stolen by injustice. Fathers, their backs bent with the weight of their helplessness, stared numbly at the impregnable walls that held their sons and daughters captive. Each sob that ripped from their throats was a testament to the cruelty inflicted, each tear a pearl of immeasurable sorrow. They had come bearing what little they had, meager offerings of food and water, desperate to provide a moment's respite from the horrors within. But the guards, heartless and unmoved, turned them away with sneers and threats. Their cries for mercy, for justice, for even a moment's solace went unanswered. The partygoers above remained oblivious, their laughter a cruel mockery of the anguish below. The stench of death, the cries of despair, the palpable aura of hopelessness, all of it went unnoticed, ignored. Section 4. The Hand of Justice. Then a crack appeared in the sky. The heavens tore open, splitting the night with an ear-splitting roar. From that chasm a hand emerged. It was colossal, its skin woven from starlight and shadow, its fingers tipped with claws of pure energy. With a speed that defied comprehension, the hand slammed down upon the pavilion, crushing it like a bug beneath a titan's foot. The laughter choked into screams. The music screeched to a halt. The feasting ended in an instant, replaced by the bitter taste of fear. The hand moved again, this time towards the prison. With a flick of its wrist it tore down the gates, shattering the bars as if they were made of straw. The earth trembled, the very foundations of the prison crumbling into dust. And then, silence. From the wreckage of the prison, figures began to emerge. Men and women, young and old, their bodies healed, their spirits renewed, walked into the waiting arms of their loved ones. The air was filled with the sounds of weeping, but this time, they were tears of joy. The voice boomed once more, now laced with an echo of grim satisfaction. When Babylon falls, it declared, the world cries, but the heavens rejoice. The hand retreated back into the void, leaving behind a silence even more profound than before. The message was clear. Justice may be delayed, but it will be served. And when it is, even the heavens will celebrate.